We're moving on to dairy, which is right there. We started seeing everything going up. Grocery prices went up. Gallon of milk was $1.99. Now it's $2.79. Well, when you buy 12 gallons a week times 4 weeks, that's a lot of money. That's what.
So milk has taken over the internet, and it's because of the video that you just saw and a tweet that accompanied it from Brianna Keilar at CNN saying, quoting from this piece, saying a gallon of milk was $1.99, now it's $2.79. When you buy 12 gallons a week, four times a month, that's a lot of money. Okay, so a lot of people had a problem with the amount of milk that this hypothetical family was being talked about. Now, I hate this news report, but I wanna be very clear about why and what I don't hate. My problem is not with the family at all, even though that seems like a lot of milk. They have a lot of kids. They have some biological, some adopted, some fostered. They go through a lot of food. That's not the problem. But there are problems here that I want to talk about really fast. Dan, had you seen this story going around?
No, but I love the way the clip begins, where it's just like, that's the milk, that's there.
Yes. So look, this is CNN that's focusing on the situation of a family, which they don't normally do. That's why they're normally bad. They don't care about people who have to, like struggle to pay for food. They've now done that, but they are still finding ways to be bad. And here is how. So they have taken the situation and they're pushing a message that this is inflation that is screwing over this family and presumably screwing over so many families, when almost any other focus of this story would have been more applicable to people's actual experience. So first of all, for the vast majority of people, the numbers that are given are not accurate. People like NYC Southpaw have pointed out that milk has not been $1.99 in America, not on official registers, for something like a quarter century. And you can go to the actual numbers and find that out. So the numbers are a little bit messed up. That isn't the part of this that really interests me. But how about this? How about they could have talked about, as Meredith Shiner says, instead of making it about inflation, which has added maybe 6 cents to the cost of a gallon of milk, they could have talked about the expanding the child tax credit to make it permanent, or the fact that SNAP benefits were slashed during the Trump era. All of these programs that would help families like that to be able to buy milk as well as other foods. They could have talked about that, but that's not really a critique of Biden. They wanted to focus on that. They could have talked about, as Gabagool points out on Twitter, the fact that agribusiness cartels have manipulated the price of foods, including milk, for a very long time. That picture right there is of one farmer dumping in one day 250,000 pounds of milk into a manure lagoon because they had too much and they wanted to keep the price up, so they've gotten rid of it. So that's something you could focus on. You could also focus on, as AOC says, something about maybe supply chain, labor, and healthcare complications that cause certain products to become more expensive, rather than just inflation, which is a very tiny portion of this entire thing. Anyway, very briefly, I apologize, Dan, we're running low on time, but I'm hitting you with this milk. What do you think?
I am vegetarian, so I prefer oat milk, so I'm out of the story. No, we talked earlier on about how CNN is really bad with political analysis and news analysis because they don't talk to regular people. I guess we kind of understand now, because when they do talk to regular people, it's really uncomfortable. It's like, how much does a banana cost? Like $12 uncomfortable. Like it's beyond parody. So maybe they should just like, okay, we focus group, we tried talking to the regular people. Now we're going back to the analysts and consultants for 24 hours because clearly you're not great at this.
100%. And look, I find this to be compelling, but again, it is not about the family. They are not the bad guys. Please don't mock the family. It is CNN having an opportunity to actually show how desperately in need of help the American people are. But then you'd have to talk about what could potentially be done, and CNN doesn't really want anything to be done.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.